everyone, and welcome. This is Cindy Carruthers. I am your host at the Business Book Cafe, where you can learn from fellow authors what's working for them to leverage their books for sales and profit. And you're bound to discover new ways you might make more money from your book too. Again, I'm your host, Cindy Carruthers, also known as the Beyond Book Sales Coach. And today I am thrilled to welcome Amber Champagne Matos. So that's a mouthful for me, Amber. She is the owner and founder of Champagne Apothecary and the Esthetician's Guide to Business. She's founded multiple businesses. I think we counted 4 when we were chatting earlier, where she helps women between the ages of 35 and 44 tackle what she calls the midlife skincare crisis. I know about that. And she also helps estheticians build their dream business in person and online. She believes in doing what you love, not what you once loved. So what's present, not what's past. Amber's a licensed esthetician, skincare entrepreneur, former senior national educator for Benefit Cosmetics, and best-selling author, which is why she's here today. As I mentioned, in 2020, she established 3 interconnecting businesses, cracked the code to aesthetics online, and made her best-selling debut. This year, she's working on her 2nd book, getting ready to launch her skincare line, expanding into other territories, and helping other estheticians to build their dream businesses. She's making me tired just hearing about that. And if you want to know more about it, I'm going to drop the link to her website in the chat. But for the moment, I would just like to say welcome, Amber, and I'm delighted to have you here today. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. And what everyone wants to know, at least from the beginning, is why you wrote your book, or why you wrote the portion of the book that you did. So tell us a little bit about that.
I wrote my book because partially it was like a cathartic experience for me. I was telling you a little bit earlier, I lost my son, my 2nd son, which is what threw me into a spiral on wanting to really get down and dirty and start my first business. And so partially it was something that helped me to kind of just go through my story and what was going on in my own life. But also, as I was going through that season in life, I really felt that healing is in revealing. So, lots of women, lots of families go through devastating loss with children and pregnancies and all kinds of stuff. And a lot of them do it in silence. And so I really wanted I've been sharing my story a lot since it's happened. And I've had a lot of women connect with me just to talk about their own experiences. Or, at one time I had someone tell me that they hadn't really told anybody about what had been going on in their life for over 27 years, that they were sitting with that pain and hurt. And so, I just think that healing is in revealing. I honestly just wanted to share that story. I think another thing for business owners is that business owners, oftentimes face lots of hardships in order to get where they're going. And people who start business want to start businesses because they want freedom, and they don't often think about what it takes to actually get to where they're going. So for someone like me to be able to share a really tough story and circumstances about how I had to walk through what I had to walk through and get through all of those different seasons in life in order to get where I am today, I think is probably, hopefully, pretty inspiring for someone who is looking to start a business and wants to know more about how to do that, or how to kind of walk through those things when they get to those hardships that they inevitably will get to.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no such thing as completely smooth sailing, but it's how you weather those bumps. And I'm sure people are going to benefit from listening to your book. But you're using this particular book, and I didn't mention the title of it, or did I? Tell me the title of it again. It's
Overcoming Mediocrity Unstoppable Women.
Right.
And it's a book I believe it's the 9th book in a series of books called Overcoming Mediocrity.
And you were one of 12 women that shared their stories in order to inspire and encourage other women. So how you're taking this book and you've used it to help to build parts of your business. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing to market the book or market your business? What's working, what's not working?
Yeah, so I worked with the woman who actually oversees the entire Overcoming Mediocrity series, Christy Rufino. She is an absolute gem, and she has been doing this for a long time now. She's gotten a lot of women's stories out into the world, and it's just amazing what she has done. And she has a lot of great strategies on how to, build marketing around your book so that you can, get it to where you want it to be. And of course, working with a team of upward of 20 other women, you've got a lot of different streams that you're speaking to and audiences that you're speaking to. So we did a lot of different marketing tactics in terms of joint, projects that we did where we were sharing each other's information or story or whatever that looked like up until launch period. And then Christy just has incredible tactics to launch, especially on Amazon. So we got our book onto Amazon, and I think within an hour we were a #1 bestseller.
So now you're able to say you are a best-selling author, right?
Yes.
That's an ego boost, and that's really exciting and wonderful. But what does it actually do to help you when you're marketing your business?
Yeah, and that's it, right? Because once you write a book, it's like it's out there, and that's just that. And I never really thought about monetizing the book per se, like thinking I was going to make $1 million off of the book. Because if you're a writer, you know that not many authors.
You can't live on royalties from one book alone.
Yeah. Yeah, not many authors are balling on like one book. So, it wasn't my intention to really like sell a ton of books. But it was my intention to gain credibility through having been a part of that project.
Mm-hmm. Which is essentially a way of monetizing it. So what have you done to use it to build the credibility?
Well, I'm like online everywhere now. So I have really cracked the code on a lot of things online. And I have it everywhere. So, no matter where you see me on any kind of social media or anything like that, you'll see that I'm a best-selling author. I use it to make sure that people know, that I have put in the hours and the time and the dedication to get to where I'm going. I think there's a big difference about posting something online. Anybody can post something online and it can sound witty or whatever that looks like. It can have really great marketing content, but it's a different thing when you're writing a book. Writing a book takes courage, it takes knowledge, it takes passion, it takes determination, dedication. So you won't just write a book like you'll just post up a social media post. So when people see that I'm an author and that I'm a best-selling author, it really does give me a lot of credibility in that people think, wow, this person actually did put the time into do what they needed to do to kind of gain that title, I guess, per se, And in the world of online, where it's very skeptical.
Anybody can claim anything online.
Exactly.
Claim to be somebody online, and they're not necessarily. So.
Exactly. And even though like we use online so heavily, people are so skeptical still of people online, and rightfully should be. So I think selling really gives me that someone who knows nothing about me would be like, okay, let me maybe take a second look at this person. I think it helps me to be seen as an expert. I think it helps me to be seen that I've like gone and I've actually accomplished something major. And I think it helps people to take me seriously.
Mm-hmm. Now you say you are everywhere. Is that because you knew what to do, or because you have partners that were part of the book that were able to either be there and bring you along or teach you what they were doing? And we didn't cover this beforehand, so I'm springing this question on you a little bit. So
That's okay. When I say I'm everywhere online because I know that I need to be. Now especially in this era, it's like everybody needs to have their business online, and it needs to be all over the place. I think about when you're looking for a new restaurant, or you're looking for a new esthetician, or you're looking for a new, anything, the first place you're going to is online. So my business and my businesses are very heavily like searchable online. I'm on every single platform you could possibly think. I've streamlined all of my stuff. And so it's out there a lot. There's definitely things that we've done, together as a group, but I wouldn't say that the people in the writing group really helped me, particularly with more of the marketing. I would say that, I've worked with other people. I've worked myself with other coaches or consultants who have just helped to tweak the different things that I've been doing to make me successful in the online world.
Now, you said you were everywhere, but I know one of the things that you mentioned to me is that you have built to me, an amazing number of fans in a Facebook group. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that came about?
Yes. So
you can say no if you don't want to, but I would
No, it's okay. I have done a lot of organic marketing through Facebook, and specifically I use Facebook heavily because when you think about my client, my woman that's between the ages of 35 and 44, who I'm dealing with in the skincare world with the midlife skin crisis, or, the esthetician that I'm dealing with usually is in that same age range, someone who's really taking their business seriously, wants to get into the online world, wants to know how they can take it to the next level. Maybe they've been an esthetician for a really long time, but now that things have changed, they're needing somebody to walk alongside them. Both of those groups of people, that demographic is on Facebook. So that's why I spend a lot of my time on Facebook, because I really want to connect with those soul clients, and that's where those people are hanging out. In terms of building the group, so I have two groups. I have a smaller skincare group that's like a few hundred people, and then I have an esthetician group of almost 3,700 people. And I grew that over the last 3 months. So that group has only been around for about 3.5 months or so. But that was really, again, through just going in, finding those soul type clients that I was looking for, adding value to conversations and questions that they were asking about all things business, especially like in the online business world, and then inviting them in to just kind of come and learn more in my group, where I really solely focus on how to build your business, especially online, and especially in this new era. So a lot of people who have really resonated with that have then come over, and they've been, getting into the group. Everybody's been engaging. It's a really positive group. I don't allow any kind of craziness going on either. So I think, especially, I know it's everywhere, but especially in the beauty world, there can be a lot of back and forth. But I'm really a stickler about it being a positive place and a safe haven for people. So I think people really appreciate that as well. But if I had to say anything about growing that group, I'd say it's really those authentic, real, genuine relationships that I've provided value to. And then also, making it a safe place for people, for them to feel they can bring their questions and not be judged in any capacity.
Mm-hmm. I think for everybody, the idea of a place where there's not a lot of back and forth, it's just such a welcome respite from all of the other places that you go. The fact that not only can I go to a place like that, but then I can actually ask my questions and get answers. That's like the icing on the top, the cherry on the top. Well, one of the things that I ask people, and we only have a couple more minutes here, is that I'd like to know if there's something that unexpected that had happened while you were in the process of writing or marketing the book or your business, that surprised you, something that was different than you expected.
Yeah, the experience in itself was cool, but I did get invited to a summit called Blogs, Books, and Beyond, which is a huge opportunity for me. It's going to be in June. It's a virtual summit, and I actually get to speak for 45 minutes on how to inspire and stay motivated to become a best-selling author, which I just think is so cool. I know I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity, obviously, if I wasn't a best-selling author. I guess that's what it is. So that is something that definitely, I've done a ton of podcasts, ton of different interviews and stuff, but that summit is it's the bee's knees, and I think it was really unexpected.
And it sounds like it's going to be fun. So we unfortunately have to start wrapping up here. Before I ask you, well, let me ask you one thing before we get into your free offer, and that is, if someone wanted to get started in the path, along the path that you're on, any of the paths that you've taken, what would be one actionable thing that one of our listeners or viewers could take today and implement in their own business or in their own book marketing?
I would say that if you are wanting to start a business, if you're wanting to write a book, whatever that looks like, I would say that you have to really commit to yourself that you're going to do it. And you have to really stay consistent, and you have to do it every single day and show up, no matter what's going on. So, and I think the other thing is that you'll know if you really want to do it, because if you do, you'll do those things.
Okay. That's actually very, very good advice. Just listen to your heart. If you do it, if you want to do it, you will do it. Now, you have a couple of free offers because you've got really two very distinct audiences. Why don't you tell us about both of them?
Perfect.
While I drop the links into the Facebook group.
Perfect. Thank you. So on champagneapothecary.com, that is for my skincare clients. Anyone feeling that they're dealing with a midlife skin crisis, you can actually download a free ebook, an esthetician's guide to the midlife skin crisis, and it will help you to understand like the basics of what's going on. There's some great resources in there as well. And then for my estheticians out there, if you are a licensed esthetician, you're looking to build your business, you can go to the esthetician's guide to business.com, where you can find a free download of my quick guide to starting a business. And that gives you my top 10 tips and just some really great insights on what you can do to get your business going.
Okay, I'm gonna mention again for the skincare clients, the esthetician's guide. It's www.champagne, and look that up if you can't spell it. Apothecary.com, and then for the estheticians, it's www.theestheticians. Again, look it up if you don't know how to spell it, because I sure couldn't. The estheticians guide to business.com, and they are in the links below the Facebook Live. And when we repost it all, they'll be available. So you can, if you're listening on podcast or just listening, you can go and find it written down somewhere. So I want to the last question that I always ask somebody is if they have any final words of advice. I know you told people to listen to their heart and do something if they want to do it. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the viewers today?
Yeah. So I have a quote in my book, and it says, "I write my dreams in pencil, not because I think that they can be erased, but because they can always be revised." And I think in this time, we really feel, I think it's like a time of Google where everybody needs to have an answer to everything right away. And if you don't have an opinion on something or an answer right away, people look at you like you have three heads. And we've kind of walked away from the thought process of like thinking things through and knowing that it's okay to change our minds. It's like once we say something, then we can never back down from that. Like we have to think that forever. And I just think that that's a faulty way of thinking. Because as we grow and we become different people, we really should be growing and developing our thoughts as well. So I just think that, if you are in business, if you're a writer, if you change your mind along the way and your goals change and things are revised, I want you to know it's okay. It's okay. And I think that you should, capitalize on those opportunities. Do something and you're not going to do it with all of your heart. You're not going to do it to the best of your ability. So just do what you love now. Know that it's okay to change. And yeah.
And I love that, because what it sparks to me or speaks to me is that says to me is that it's not only for the people who are dreaming and writing them down and getting permission to change their dreams. It's for the people who are afraid to even take a step because, oh my goodness, my dreams are written in blood, ink, stone, whatever. It has to be perfect before I can get started. So what you've just said also speaks to those people that says, hey, it's in pencil. Change it if it doesn't work. If you get down this path and you don't like it, stop doing it. Do something else. It's not the end of the world. So I love that message. I thank you so much for sharing that with us, Amber. I think that was really, really incredible. I can see why you're in that book and why you're a best-selling author. So I really want to thank you for sharing today. I want to thank everyone who's listening or watching live or on replay. I want to remind you all that we will be live next on May 7th at noon on Friday. We're going to be doing weekly shows from there on. If you're interested in being a guest, please send me a message. Let other author friends you know, tell them about us so that they can join us either at noon on Fridays or be a guest as well. We are the Business Book Bistro, where you can learn from other authors what's working now to market and sell more books and to market and grow your business. And you can discover opportunities that you too can take advantage of to make more money with your book. I'm your host, Cindy Carruthers, with Amber Champagne Matos, signing off and wishing you much success with your book. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.